I ask you to fight, not with weapons, but with your voice, your will. Your
Yeah, boy! My son!
I want to go home.
Sure, let's go! Whoa, stop! No, my son!
China, we are not Chinese. Tibet is not part of China. And
thank you so much for never forgetting our responsibility as Tibetans to commemorate March 10th.
China, China, China! When? When? Free Tibet! Free Tibet! China out! Long live! China is guilty!
Guilty of genocide!
China is guilty!
Guilty of genocide!
Who is the dictator?
아니 다른 기념동디 숨지 드링 강가 제도 아니 안 당하대 재밌는 레터스도 재밌는 레오다 아장아니 팀에도 아저도 커피 다이너도 찍니서 내가 다 추소 찍니 봐 삼나라 커피 페이스를 아니 다 쇼강하고 될래체 아니 대저 바우투서 저 바울라 디스트릭 위치다 Yep.
Lost it. 3 시시페미니라 안에 그베 토로토 산에 슈니 그 탑시네 그안 참도 쉬고요. 다 드린 니모드는 베바질 최비나 하중기 걔네 전부 씹어러와 주도 그 장합증하고 롤 안에 자미펠 젠주 젠에 아는 아주 베바게 라마 쇼바게 녀망당 드네 나로서 마지 롱기 톱당래야게 안에 녀모지들이 차대고 어르와 단다 안에 가서는 좀블리 산에 가사 갈라는 아주 베바 요래 상마들이 숨주 뒤리기 니모디 대소는 거를 대소는 거야지 준세 가르에서는 니그 숨주 뒤리기 니 니몬 디라 아주 배마 망복 스소 르 땅네 그니 랭기의 종조로 마토 지면서 다바지 그 랭기의 종조 말해서 근데 에서 들이 걔네 전부 셔버려 대소는 거야지 배마 사야 주 노니 그 사야니의 차가 지금 스소 르 땅 잡으려 늦어가는 가서는 지진지요 차고 열어서 들이 근데 인사 노멀 현재죠 상마들이 념수제야 많이 만나러나서 네바던 같은 레가요는 샤네 페로나스네 뜻이에요.
그래서 되나 가장 약속나서
아주 제공시 고모들이라 데세라 하시 추가도 다 드니 나라도 그 루규나다 아니 다 이제 도시디 니모디 임베 손자 드니 가서 드니 시베 공주 마부지도 스페나고 요래 디 도스마 페베캅소 랑가레 직 셰모시야다 게모쇼야데 마나라체 직타 셈나기 나자디마 뜨니 남주도시네 페로나스치니 두고슈야이 엘리아 트리 순교 망미데 로바칭에 요래 코나 쪽이 한소바이나 디기 테스 니로나스 도스치니 슈야이
Sering ngatur dealer, ngatur ngatur gini digola beki kisah ada tanda contoh lah semua nangsi ke, ni ngatur coba ceduk ke sama mak gopcha jane ke, kaneka susu ke lengke kau ki gome di sama di cesa orang tadi sa, tadi ke donde badi ngatur payah re shuni ke, ane payah lah.
Homa de la Tegela Nami Uchi Chino Consacamni Simple Sola, Kuchani the Tom the Tone, the Richard Tokbe Toko, Suman Langa Ubegi, Gule number, Patient, Tokaki to Kagi, Toko and Gule number, and Mimayo, the Tadi de la Pena, the Lanin Tavane, Tujan and the Gadin Shui, and Yiming Pi, and around the Saniton Wiki, Capjokson Gule, youth coordinator Ira. Ani teri longo chujure dok kol bege sunchu thirin di nimo de cha de kore an chesan thari ngara de seshe pa inge to shuna MC yana announcer di ngara de la ngara cha di to ani jerim ni ba de be kya khap chembo gi galu ta Canada gi galu tong nang gyu
Jerim sumba de pe mere tade so giche do ransole tang ke penche rembo che kuto to so u be ki ke je pao ko mun nam giche do yange sunde kam che gi bi chalo na ya yi ani besal ha na la ke tinga na ya ko na ka che gi sun ki no
Pumi rawan gerlan sumju tüden ten çucu ratu beze ho kaşa ki tamşe Milo çucu ratu konge teri köy gesel hasal çüsum pumi so penjor gyama ki Zubje la söbe tasede ngogör legu shigeche wa pel kö chungwarte gyama ki chawne wo pumi chida tume jesulu nidong nishu senga dao sumbe chi chu la pyo
toji chekarin che wesla 아니 넘버 저 캔세레 간주 슈빌링 우베게 소바기도 카기 냠르게 고네 아니 지질랑호지 고리치나요레 이게도 슈나 버스 타디치나요레라 타디치나요 바마세 아니 메장아 좀 많이 잠파 오데올라 페요레 아니 디게기 게임소 체주데 언더 산이 슈누기 케네안가 아산이 슈누기 초조 산이 수맘라야 파 오데올라 페나요레 아니 nga ada paulada ani temela ani nonjomla 슈나요레 아니 디젤라 그리지도 속배 속도 소놈 랑갈 촌에 tam신 남겨
수치나 배라 나 다징에 공도 쉬는 날이 나 드레 가라 쪽이 아니 벽을 녹여 나라다 니즈 탑 도슈직 안드레치니 차려래 제가 소매 체주 지도 그 병합 중 하고 놀라 아니 범이 결랑체 아니 결랑체 거기 조 범이 속이 아니 겨울 무체기 디갑기 송교다 겨울 무체 야나게 마 체바이나 아니 강에 차야 딘제기 다 게마소네 아니 우토네 아니 메마소 결랑체네 안 타마델이야 아니 아주 겨울부터 아니 송교 제도야다 안 되네지다 아주 아니 벽이 내든 엔데 가교교 세르기 놀람 슈유 안 토지체나 안 드리 메마 망고 슈지 도스체네 페샤 다 자외차는 아주 소바 강하게 고리치고 값서 다 드리 나버 속에 도스체네 제바이나 숨주 드레나 남시 드네 약슈로 오지래도 남주이나 아주 장고 슈지 기시 디안 슈데 어디 규데와 시딩에나 다 드링기 투즈데 마제와체네 땡땡 냠슈나네 가연 지우지 아주 최고의 개체버레샤스 디슈에이 라스 투체나 가린체
Toji shekarin che tondula ani zerim chuba de tani shino joron de social power ani tamshin nangi
토마 베밀라나 메베 우리 저는 공사 땅게 친구 졸라 부처님의 동배 돈에 안에 들이 항아로서 간주체 때리 우베가 초바치도 가게 거드 나네게 들이 섬추 들이데 송제 제 고와데 당에 미시 기시라 질라 고고 말을 ting도 넘버 좀 첸시 바레 나도 토마 유자를 패대요래 내가 녀다 세바 쇼스네 아멘도 뒤세 대결로 배그 대다 녀다 세바 쇼 그지체
라세 추시나 karin che paula ani dizela slogan ni Pergelo! Piggy Taco! Piggy Taco! Long live! Long live! Release the pension llama now!
Release the pension llama now.
Release the pension llama now!
Release the pension llama now.
Tibet belongs to
Tibetans.
Tibet belongs to
Tibetans.
China out.
And 다른 참시에 humiliation 쪽에 소소 텔라네 tam신 남겨
무슨 책이 되고 정리 시대 되고 저와 센지요라 툭 참세 미리 매봐 나나 매배 우티 라 소남 대배 기우 그게 대지 때문에 삼바 파파 표강제 봐 여기 따외니까 혹배님 진호공사 결정 전부 초기 도바 통도 림포체 총라 구숨 구작 표받았다 지지체
toji shekarin che tondula ani dizela ni dohar shushi kantoji tondula ляга дада чеке дела пету минду энчеда ани тамши минду ра имеленга social de kusab de petu ani dizela per angelo pe social kumsangla ni tamshin nangi.
Today we stand not only in remembrance but in defiance. We stand because we must. We stand because to sit in silence is to betray those who gave everything for our freedom. Today, Tibet mourns. Today, our voices rise where so many have been silenced. Today, we honor those who fought, those who fell, and those who still endure. 66 years ago, our people stood against impossible odds. They stood knowing they would face rifles, knowing they would be met with violence, knowing that the resistance could cost them everything. And yet they rose. They rose with prayers on their lips and fire in their hearts. They rose because to do nothing was to surrender their homeland, their faith, their identity. They rose because they knew what we must all remember today. Tibet was never theirs to take. It has always been ours. And yet, even now, our brothers and sisters inside Tibet live under oppression. Their language stolen, their faith suppressed, their very existence monitored and controlled. Even now, our people are punished for daring to speak the truth. Even now, Tibetans are jailed, tortured, and disappeared. Even now, monks and nuns set themselves on fire, their bodies consumed by flames, their last words a prayer for freedom. Imagine that kind of pain. But today, we do not gather just to mourn. We gather to promise. We promise to keep their fight alive. We promise to never let Tibet become just a forgotten page in history. We promise that no matter how long it takes, no matter how many generations must rise, Tibet will be free. Look around you. Look at the faces of those who have never set foot in Tibet, but still carry spirits within them. Look at the younger generation who still speak our language, who still sing our songs, who still carry prayer beads. Look at the exiles who have spent their entire lives longing for a homeland they may never see again. This is what resistance looks like. This is what survival looks like. This is what hope looks like. So today, I do not ask you to cry. I do not ask you to feel sorrow. I ask you to feel fire. I ask you to feel anger, not the kind that breeds hatred, but the kind that fuels action. I ask you to fight, not with weapons, but with your voice, your will, your unwavering belief in justice. Stand for Tibet wherever you go, because as long as there are Tibetans who remember, Tibet is alive. We will not be silent. We will not give up. The world may turn away, but we will remind them. We will remind them that Tibet was never theirs to take. And one day, whether it is in our lifetimes or in the lives of those who come after us, Tibet will rise again. And when that day comes, when the mountains of Tibet stand free once more, history will remember those who refuse to surrender. It will remember us. It will remember you. Pegelo! 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 Pegelo!
Ani tijala Canada Beden Henso ke tetumba yulu tungela ni tamshan angyo
tirinde nga kami noya nga to Canada Beden Henso ki kutsutin hibi nga to tanda ginzi shirap takin tanda photo alpeso so tirinde nga to ki junzo nam bi ki fimi on ya sonju tech dili feta I would like to take this opportunity to express my appreciation to the Member of Provincial Parliament for Pakistan High Park, Alexa, to attend this important occasion here. Tandate, kami noya kita to inji no ya sunti yati, peki ron ma shuda shubidu ini sama ya, kamanga sri ya, peki no ya ma shucho ti shuayi. Ngato mutine. 他这节的我是多在几笔节的，别听不了吹，别加喽，别加喽，别加喽，别加喽，别加喽，别加喽，别知道不？别知道不？别知道不？要弟子家走，不得去了你去了的要弟子家走，不得去了你去了的要弟子家走，不得去了你别知道不？别知道不？别加喽，别加喽，别加喽，别加喽。
Tuji sekerin she indula an dijala perandula pe soba lokchunge ne tamje je film studio
We have a lot of learning to do, and please take your seat. And today we'll be learning Tibetan alphabet. Ka ka kanga. Ka ka kanga. Cha cha chanya. Cha cha chanya. Ta ta dana. Ta ta dana. Pa pa papa. Pa pa papa. Ta ta tawa. Yakunde. Yakunde.
Today, I'll be shutting down this outdated Tibetan school. We, the Chinese Communist Party, have to ensure young Tibetan children are receiving the state-of-the-art, modern and advanced education. We have already saved 1 million Tibetan children by providing them with better opportunities than they could have ever received. They need our help. and they need support from the Chinese government to turn their outdated school into a place where they can further their education.
了个错误，住在一个大图书馆附近。我们住在一个大图书馆附近，犯了个错误，在墙上住在一个他不抽烟、低温天气。我们住在一个犯了个图书馆附近，住在一个。
Yepo! My son!
I want to go home. No TV.
Sure, let's go! Whoa, stop! Now, my son!
No.
These children are so happy here. They are receiving superior education. The old ways were backwards, and we are ensuring prosperity for the next generation. Education should not be dictated by outdated traditions and impractical beliefs. These children now have access to real knowledge. The world should recognize the efforts we, the Chinese Communist Party, are making in lifting Tibet into the future.
This is the reality, the truth of what is happening to Tibetan children in Chinese illegally occupied Tibet right now. The world must wake up. This is ethnic cleansing. These children are ripped from their families, stripped of their language, their identity, their very existence as Tibetans. We cannot remain silent. Stop the ethnic cleansing now!
Stop the ethnic cleansing now!
This is genocide, a systematic effort to erase Tibetans from the map. This is not history. It is happening right now as we speak. If we don't fight for them, who will? China lies!
People die!
China lies!
People die!
China is guilty!
Guilty of genocide!
China is guilty!
Guilty of genocide!
Who is the dictator? China, China, China! China, China, China! Out, out, out! Win, win, win!
Now, now, now!
Now, now, now! We want freedom! We want freedom! Now, now! Now, now!
पुलिस की प्रोग्राम हो रही है कनाडा ये पुलिस की प्रोग्राम वाला
Who is the dictator? Who is the dictator? Who is the dictator? Tibetan united! Tibetans are dying! How many lives? 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 Tibet belongs to Tibetans! Tibet belongs to Tibetans! China out of Tibet now! In Tibet! Stop the in Tibet! Stop the genocide in Tibet! Stop the torture in
Free Tibet! China! Free Tibet! China! Advocacy is human rights! Allow media! In Tibet! Pay the law! Pay the law! Break it up! Bring me in! Tibet now! China! Out! Tibet now! China! 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 Out! 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 When? Now! Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Break it up! Bring me in!
어제 다 단다 안에 잠이 총총 그 gonda delio peala adle peala satri ane pemi gulang ge nyemon dila chona khandera chonso
sonande ta namgyogi manjawo sonan chikhalle solana te toronto laga first time chikche dura thuma sangbodo naning lodinga ore wala doimba di ani toronto laga first time do chei do ada naning lo dan namshi thangmo dura inele thalo dila ani namshi abu shu chiktu ani namshi abu yoga masse adanga de jacket koram khemera
lose
ani hari mixed ge shungi mangpele na sha ani odira ning thakone thujina lai ani pheba sulaga latanga message hatte inana chino konsa kemni shimbo sho anda shu beringala ani ngazu samma pheba sama hutta barta nangro lang ani simshu nam yang ma cha lai ra ani namshi yaku sharwa nanshi ani ngazu gi ta nimaya yaku
ta dir do so tebin talo tendi zambo
ya tendi zambo
ani ta kadiyena la ne sunchu detail thamo shib tengwa talo ngone gane ka san zombli ge ne chapsi de jowa drop khala ngaso di namshi do jowa drop sal tebi na ngaso lo jobe gi ta nima shag rawa
chenda shiresha ani anzu rangse thokki le ta nima chik
oh de abu de ya thoche
Thank you so much for being here. And thank you to all the supporters who can't be here today. I stand here representing the 5 Tibetan NGOs, CTAO, RTYC, Tibetan Women Association, Chushi Gangdu, and Students for Tibet. Most importantly, I stand here. We gathered here representing all the Tibetans in Tibet and outside Tibet. March 10, 1959. Under this very sky, on the pure land of Lhasa, Tibet, People's Liberation Army of China massacred, murdered innocent Tibetan, unarmed, poorly armed, in hundreds and thousands in numbers. Monks, nuns, parents, grandparents, youth, they did not spare even one. The Communist Party made attempt to assassinate His Holiness the Great 14th Dalai Lama on March 10, 1959, which forced him to leave Tibet, his motherland, to India, so that he could capture a future for Tibetans. We should commemorate and remember March 10, 1959, because People Liberation Army of China, led by dictatorship, murderer Mao Zedong and Deng Xiaoping. They made the holy land of Lhasa, Tibet, a gory, filled with blood, a site for horrific crime. And today's day and age, it is a crime of aggression. It has been 66 long years of the Communist Chinese not being held accountable for what they have done to the Tibetans in Tibet before March 10, 1959, after March 10, 1959, currently, right now, what they're doing to the Tibetans. They are not held accountable for that. It has been long, agonizing, 66 years. 66 years is not a short time. It is extremely long, and we, the Tibetan, from day one, we condemn China. We are not Chinese. Tibet is not part of China. And I want to make this very clear today, on this special day of March 10, 2025. Next year is going to be a different year. We're not going to be talking about the same topics of China not being held accountable for what they have done, the crimes of aggression in Tibet. Finally, Tibet united will never be defeated. Tibet united
Will never be defeated.
Tibet united
Will never be defeated.
Tibet united.
Will never be defeated.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. I agree with you. I agree with you. Ladies and gentlemen, for me it's always an honor to be with my Tibetan family, in the sense that democracy, freedoms are a fundamental principle for every human being in every corner of the world. And it's not happening under Chinese rule, and that we condemn. Ladies and gentlemen, I have made a commitment to this cause for decades.
Good afternoon. It's an honor to be with you today. This is actually my first time at the Chinese consulate here in Toronto. I found out recently that I had faced a cyber attack on my personal email from APT 31, which is Chinese government affiliated. I thought if they wanted to read my emails, I'd just come here and speak to them so they could hear me more directly. It would save them I want to thank you for your courage, your steadfastness in defense of Tibet and in defense of Canada. The situation, the human rights situation in Tibet is absolutely deplorable. We've heard evidence at the subcommittee on international human rights of what is happening in schools, children stripped away from their families and forcibly indoctrinated. In every aspect of Tibet society, we see how the CCP tries to indoctrinate with communist ideas and undermine Tibetan families, Tibetan faith, and Tibetan freedom. We are here today to stand for Tibetan faith, family, and freedom against the colonial oppression that is happening in Tibet. Now, this is a human rights situation, but it is also a dispute among nations. Tibet is a nation, it is occupied, and I am pleased to report, as many of you know, that in this Parliament, the Canadian Parliament unanimously passed my motion endorsing the middle way approach as a solution to this dispute among nations. Unanimous position of Canada's Parliament. And we need to take that and insist on that and build on that. That is the position of Canada. That is the position of Canada's Parliament. We must be unrelenting in taking this stand for freedom and justice in Tibet and everywhere. I also want to thank you for standing up for Canada. because your advocacy has shone a light on the pernicious problem of foreign interference here in Canada that affects so many different communities. It affects our brothers and sisters in the Chinese community, in the Iranian community, in so many other communities where foreign governments are trying to intimidate and limit the rights and freedoms that people have here in Canada. We must insist that Canadians on Canadian soil, people who are not citizens who are here on Canadian soil, have the right to come to their own considered conclusions about issues, to speak about those issues, and to be able to do so without fear of intimidation or threats against their family members. And this is why we need tough new action on foreign interference. This is why we push the government on a foreign influence registry, and this is why we will continue to push them on the enforcement of measures so that we can protect all of you and protect all people, regardless of their background, to have the freedoms we're supposed to have here in Canada. This is something we need to insist on, and also we need to expel any foreign diplomats that are involved in foreign interference. We need to insist on protecting our freedoms here in Canada. So we stand for Tibet, we stand up for Canada, and thank you for your leadership. Finally, I want to recognize the Tibetan struggle, I believe, is an example to all peoples everywhere who are fighting against injustice. When I first met His Holiness the Dalai Lama, I was struck by his love, his goodwill, and his desire for reconciliation. He spoke no bitterness, he spoke about wanting to have peace, reconciliation, and justice. Tibetans have insisted on that truth and have also built strong democratic institutions in exile. This is the power of your liberation struggle. Constructive, always building, always loving, always seeking the good rather than seeking bitterness and pain for the other. So thank you for how you struggle and how you set an example for all people who are seeking justice and freedom. And we will continue to fight for the middle way as endorsed by Parliament in my motion. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your work. God bless.
Thank you, Canada.
Thank you, MP Garner Janis, for your continued advocacy and support for Tibet. Next, we have former MPP Butila Garbacher.
Thank you. Wow. I look out and I see so many of my Tibetan sisters and brothers gathered today. Thank you. Thank you so much for never forgetting our responsibility as Tibetans to commemorate March 10th, when the Tibetan people rose up against the illegal occupation by the Chinese government. Thank you for never forgetting that there are millions of Tibetans who still live under occupation and do not have the same rights and freedoms that we have here in Canada. Thank you for never forgetting that there are political prisoners who are in prison simply for trying to teach the Tibetan language, simply for trying to protect our culture and identity, simply for trying to protect the environment and the land that is Tibet. And by all of you being here today, we are saying that the Tibetan struggle is strong and we will continue to resist. I have to say, I am very, very pleased that we have a member of parliament in front of the Chinese consulate. Yeah. I don't think that I have seen one in 10 years. Yeah. We need more leaders to have the courage to stand up for justice, to not be afraid. We need human rights for Tibetans and everywhere. And of course, our struggle is one that we have support and solidarity from our sisters and brothers within the Chinese democratic movement, from Hong Kongers and Taiwanese people, from the Uyghur people. It is when we are united and we work together Because we all have the same goal, which is to preserve our culture, identity, our way of life, and to exist. The right to self-determination is at the core. And finally, I want to say, the Tibetan resistance will keep going on. I see so many young people here. And mark my words, Tibet will be free!
Thank you so much, Butila Karpache.
Thank you, everyone. I was here 1993. I have never left. I will be always standing together with you forever. And let we stay together. Let we stay in solidarity for a free Tibet. Free Tibet!
Free Tibet!
Free Eastern Turkestan!
Free Eastern Turkestan!
Free Southern Mongolia!
Free Southern Mongolia!
Free Hong Kong!
Free Hong Kong!
Free Manchuria!
Free Manchuria!
And free China!
Free China!
Thank you. Good afternoon, Tasha Delay. My name is Winnie Yang, as been introduced. I'm the co-chair of the Toronto Association. We stand with you. As Sun Quan said, free Tibet!
Free Tibet!
China out!
China out!
Free Tibet!
Free Tibet!
China out!
China out!
66 years ago, on March 10th, 1959, and 2 days later, on March 12th, 1959, Tibetan men and women put their lives on the line to defend their families, to defend their homelands, to defend their religious freedom, and above all, the human rights and the dignity of not allowed to be enslaved people. For that tremendous sacrifice and atrocity, as earlier the sister talked about, as a crime of aggression. We should be saying this is a crime against humanity, right? And it should not be tolerated, and will continue to stand in solidarity with the Tibetan community, because we share the common enemy, the common aggressor, the expansion of China's CCP's imperialism and colonial rule. We have learned so much from you. So we're here, I'm echoing other speakers, we are also here to thank you, to acknowledge your courage, your determination, and above all, your resistance and resilience against the Chinese imperialism. Just, brothers and sisters, I just want to say, together we can win! Yes. Free Tibet!
Free Tibet!
China out!
China out!
Tibet belongs to
Tibetans!
Tibet belongs to
Tibetans!
Thank you very much, solidarity.
Finally, we want to offer a scarf and say a word of thanks to all the guests who have participated here. And first of all, we have former Senator, Honorable Consuelo Dinero, who had committed for so many years, and also today again, he promised in front of the Chinese consulate, until we free Tibet, Senator will be here until his life. Difficult to say that. Yeah, but so Senator, thank you so much for being steadfast and always with us, and we really appreciate it. Thank you very much, and we want to say thank you to you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Member of Parliament Garnet Janice. But again, I just want to let my community member knows that no matter how many or how big or how small events we have, we always try to send invitation to Mr. Garnet Janice. But because of where he lives, it's very difficult to attend all our events. But especially when he's attending today, that makes a big difference, you know. And that means a lot to us. And how the Garnet is helping in Ottawa, especially to the CDC and all the Tibetan associates. We know it, and we always appreciate Mr. Garnet, and looking forward for future more visit to our center as well. And once again, on behalf of all the community members here, I'd like to say thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
Next, as always, we have at the moment it's a former, but we don't know what's going to be in the future. It's a question. So we have a former provincial member of parliament from provincial Putila Kabuche, and she always here, and no matter where we have an event, Putila always try to attend and support us. And thank you so much, Putila, and we're looking forward to working many years with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
Next we have a Xiangxue. Probably you guys know, you see Xiangxue all the time, and she always support us, and always we are with you, Xiangxue, as well. And moving forward, we did many events at the center as well, so we look forward to working with you continuously until the truth prevails. Thank you so much. Finally, we have a Winnie, close friend. She always support us. Probably you guys have seen her at the community center as well, and many times here as well. So Winnie, thank you so much for your support, and we are with you, and we look forward to working with you, and always appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So ani tochena ngazu de tanda Garnet la dos pebo do zaragi petsodan ngazu dinzi melam da muthin do shue shue tochena
La
want freedom.
What do we want?
We want freedom.
When do we want it?
Now, now.
When do we want it?
Now, now.
Free Tibet.
China out.
Free Tibet.
China out.
China out of Tibet now.
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 Tibet belongs to
Tibetans.
Tibet belongs to
Tibetans.
Tibet belongs to
Tibetans.
Tibet was never
Part of China.
Tibet was never
Part of China.
Tibet was never
Part of China.
China, China, China.
Out, out, out.
China, China, China.
Out, out, out.
When?
No, no, no.
When?
No, no, no.
China, China, China.
Out, out, out.
When?
No, no, no.
Long live
Dalai Lama.
Long live
Dalai Lama.
Long live
Dalai Lama.
Advocacy is
Human rights.
Advocacy is
Human rights.
Allow media
In Tibet.
Allow media
In Tibet.
Pegi Dapo
Pegi.
Pegi Dapo
Pegi.
Yama Bene
Advocacy.
Yama Bene
Advocacy.
China out of Tibet now.
China out of Tibet now.
Tibet belongs to
Tibetans.
Tibet belongs to
Tibetans.
Free Tibet.
China out.
Free Tibet.
China out.
Free Tibet.
China out.
China, China, China.
Out, out, out.
China, China, China.
Out, out, out.
When?
Now, now, now.
When?
Now, now, now.
Three Tibetans from our Toronto community traveled to Ottawa early this morning, led by R2IC's President Sunny Sonam, to further amplify our voices. Let us carry today's message forward and continue advocating for Tibet's freedom, amplifying the voices of those inside Tibet who have been silenced. May we stand united in our pursuit for truth, justice, and lasting peace. Thank you all once again for being a part of this significant day. Pergalo!
Ni Canada gi Niento ka police department la thank you so much thajina hunje roko abo be china so ta chaso changma chaso jobaula khandi chungso
ama tatri pe karso gorgo samba ga go base gora one shub chungso da
mi mangbu shu
mo mangbu du namshi abudu ani changma lapa ngone ga simshu na jingone alo misi ga mo mangbu shib le do
지금 다른 사다와리 단도이네 미유 몽골레다
제장게니 쉔제 빼마시 몽골레도 데리 가오바 ngone teresa
아니 다른 캐나다 연도 디파트먼트 and police department
아마 다티다 녀도 바티가 간데제니 가서 가서 잡초 체체 지기도 하 사야르와 데데 ngone 가수디 고토 그데 그라고 그렇지 차장이야 가서 그때다 고소 근데 지고 딱 가서 좀 빼봐 참아다나다 뭐 차야라 고조 야야 하네 다데 치즈고드게네 사모사다 디게 사마카 테체 차치 동
해야 돼
आजादी 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 चाहिए